What's the biz, everybody? It's your boy Baker Maker, aka Dinsley, and I'm here to give you some true shit. So, I just finished reading the Harley Quinn 30th anniversary special book. It basically contains multiple random self-contained Harley stories written and drawn by different people. The first mini story, Uncommon Bond, was cute. Getting to see Harley and Batman's butler, Alfred, interact and kind of team up protecting the Wayne Manor. For me, it's rare to see Harley or any of Batman's rogues gallery really interacting with Alfred in a confrontational way. Granted, this is obviously Harley during the time she's not really an enemy of Batman anymore and is mostly residing in Coney Island under the Amanda Conner and Jim Pagliotti's run, which I need to continue reading at some point. Speaking of which, it was cool having them back writing a Harley story again, even if it was a short story. And the art, which was done by Chad Hardin, was really good. It definitely reminds me of the aforementioned Harley comics. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. It close to an 8. It was good. I enjoyed it. Now, I'm not gonna take too much time going over every single story that was going over in great detail on every single story that was included in this 100-page issue. Just highlighting the ones I really liked. I will give a rating for each one though. I'll try not to spoil much in case you guys are interested in getting a copy of this to read for yourself. As I said before, these are self-contained stories, but also some of these feel like Elseworld stories that couldn't really fit in the main DC Comics continuity. One thing to point out is that a lot of these stories are wacky, sometimes in a good way, sometimes not so good. Some of these stories don't make much sense, to be honest, but I somewhat expected that. I mean, this is Harley we're talking about. I just expect them to at least be fun and enjoyable. And some of them are, and some of them not. Anyways, the next story, Cease and Decease, wasn't too bad, but nothing too special either. I kind of saw the ending coming from a mile away. I'd give it a 7 rating, but I'm gonna stick with a 6. Submissive, however, I'd give a solid 8. I enjoyed the Harley story written and drawn by you know what, I'm not gonna put your name. I'm just gonna have the name on the title screen. Drawn and written by said person back in 2020. So having him come back temporarily for this special was really cool. I really dig his art style as well as his storytelling. Granted, for this particular story wasn't admittedly much, but I really love the dialogue among Harley and Catwoman, as well as Catwoman Poison Ivy. Plus the idea that Harley can be very submissive, while I know might put off some Harley fans, I think it isn't too far off from the truth. Look at her relationship with the Joker in several forms of media. Having Selina convince Ivy to play along with her hypothesis on Harley was fun. I want to say more, but I don't want to give too much away. This has to be my second favorite story in this book. How to Train Your Hyena, which focused on Harley rescuing her pet hyenas, was okay, I guess. I was not a fan of the art at all, though. I'm sorry, but Riley Rossmo's art is just not my cup of tea. Though the violence was a bit more graphic than I thought it would be for this story, so I'll give it a 6. Criminal Insanity, I wish would have been much longer, Overall, it just felt like an advertisement for the graphic novel it's actually based on. Still, I do kind of prefer it over the previous story simply for its dialogue and art, which was done by Michael Sayan and Jason Bador. I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Siren Soiree was a blast reading much like everything else in here. In this book, I just wish it was longer, but with what we got was really good. First off, the art here is beautiful. The artist here is Golem March. Honestly, Golem March is one of my favorite artists in the DC comics. Just love the way he draws the characters, especially Harley. As soon as we find out Harley is throwing a party at the Siren's apartment, I knew it was gonna be some there was gonna be some crazy hijinks involved, and I just love the interactions between Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman here, and the cameos here were really cool, especially of two particular superheroes. I'm not gonna spoil who. I'm gonna leave that as a surprise for you guys in case you want to read it. Again, a lot of fun with this one. Just wish it was just longer, man. It totally gets a 8.5 from me. The next story, however, at least for me, was a total downgrade. Titled "A Legend Is Born." It just gets a rating a 4 out of 10 for me. It just didn't do it for me. You know what? Neither did the last Harley story, rating 5 out of 10. Nor did the Troop Harley Quinn, really 4 out of 10. Actually 4.5 out of 10. I'll give you that. But yeah, of the three, I thought the last Harley story had the best art. Troop Harley Quinn's art was cute though. The final story, Harley's World, was all right. It could have been a lot better, but I can say the same thing about pretty much the majority of these stories, to be honest with you. The artwork was pretty much the best thing about the story, to be honest. Its art definitely reminded me of the early Harley comics back in the 2000s. The transitions here were kind of cool, and the ending wasn't so bad, but again, it just felt so damn short. You could barely even call it a story, to be honest with you. But you know, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I just wish it had more to it, since it was the book's finale. With that said, its last page was cool and kind of fitting. The biggest praise I can give this book is embracing that it does embrace all the multiple sides of Harley, as well as all the different eras of Harley Quinn's life. Whether we're talking about her time as Joker's lover/sidekick, her time as a member of the Suicide Squad, and working for Amanda Waller, her time as a solo villain, her time as a Gotham City siren, or her time as a full-blown anti-hero. Now, I wish we could have at least gotten a short story showcasing her life as a psychiatrist, though. Even though I did mention that we got to see her with the Joker, but it was only through like some type of montage. We didn't really get that much time with the two. Granted, there's been tons of full-blown stories of that already since Harley's inception, but I just thought it would be cool to at least get one short story here. But we sort of did that with the last story. Hey, better than nothing, I guess. Anyways, overall, I thought the artwork throughout the book was good for the most part. Only had like 2 stories with art I disliked. But the stories themselves didn't really offer anything substantially new. I recommend buying the book simply for its art and various cover arts. Other than that, if you're looking for really engaging Harley stories, then you'll be very disappointed. For me, it only had like 2 or maybe 3 out of 10 mini stories in here that I would classify as really as good. I just feel like a lot of these mini stories could have really benefited from getting a couple more pages in them. And with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 stories here, these mini stories lacked much substance to them. I do really like most of the variant cover art here, with the one done by Art Germ being my favorite. So far, I own like 2 variant covers of this, as you can see here. Yeah. Overall, I'd give this book a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I wouldn't really classify this as a must-have for Harley fans, unless you're like me, who enjoys collecting comics specifically for their cover art. So that's it. Uh, what do you guys think? Have you so are you planning on still getting the book or not? Do you guys already own the book? Comment below your opinions on the book. Do you agree with me, disagree with me on certain things? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more videos like these, please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I post more Harley content and various other things as well. And most importantly, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified for whenever I do post these videos. Now, with that said, stay beast, and most importantly, stay cray cray.